Hi all, this is Jan Almighty and welcome to this video. This time it is Stockfish level 4 against me. The mighty fish is getting mightier and mightier, they're allowing it to process more and more moves. Last time it was level 3. Can't really say that it was a big obstacle even on level 3, so let's see what will happen with level 4. So once again, play with the machine. This is happening on leechess.org. Level 4, rapid game, giving myself 15 minutes plus 10 seconds increment. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. Hopefully I don't lose. Once again with the black pieces. So Stockfish level 4 is rated 1600. Well, that's a good rating. Usually when playing, I don't really have that much trouble playing against 1600 players. But I'm sensing that this time the machine can give me some kind of at least something to think about. Okay, once again, I wanted to repeat me playing against Stockfish in this video, trying to share my insights into the game, trying to talk about what am I thinking when I'm playing a chess game, and maybe you pick up something from it. So, whenever someone plays e3, g3, d3, b3, or even one of the knights, so not going directly with the major pawns, major two pawns in the center to e4 or d4, or even c4, I tend to play d5 or e5 because my goal in the chess game from the start is to occupy as much space in the center as possible, and then proceed, of course, sometimes with caution, sometimes not, but mostly with caution, playing a positional game, much in the style of Karpov, to go for a very nice position and a very nice endgame. So usually I try d5, but let's try e5 this time. Okay, knight to c3, a development move, and I will also play d5. And okay, queen to h5, always a scary move. Unfortunately for white, there is no bishop on c4 to maybe try and give me checkmate, but don't rush and play knight to f6 immediately, because this queen isn't just coming here to attack f7, as most of you think immediately. It is actually attacking also my pawn on here, e5. So I could play knight to c6, but then that runs into bishop to b5, pinning my knight. I could play, for example, knight to d7, but that quite clearly gives up a pawn on d5. So what to play? If I play bishop to d6, once again I'm giving up my pawn on d5. So it seems they have to defend this with a queen. Okay, and actually, is there a good way to defend this? This is a very nice, tricky move from Stockfish early on. But one thing that you could also learn from playing a lot of games is that playing a queen so early in the opening isn't always a good move. So I'm actually going to play knight to f6 and allow queen to e5. But okay, Stockfish doesn't go for it. So yeah, everything that I talked about is kind of lost there. My plan was to give up and sacrifice the pawn to get rapid development. So after knight to f6, play even bishop to d6, play knight to c6, play this bishop, and then having a very strong development, continue with a very active game. But Stockfish isn't interested in that, and he plays queen to g5, tempting me to actually go and defend this pawn. And now I will do it. So I will play knight from b to d7, and once again he is playing with the queen. I definitely encourage you not to do this, so playing so many times with the queen, because it leads to lack in development and later on a worse game. Let's play g6, playing bishop to g7 and going castles to not have too many problems about safety of the king. And then we will just continue with the game. Okay, bishop to e2 was a nice move. d4 clearly attacking my pawn, and I will capture on d4, allowing this bishop to develop on this diagonal, but at the same time opening up the e-file, because I will be going kingside castle, and having a rook on e1 is a very nice thing to have. And okay, one thing that I haven't thought about is actually this knight to b5 move, which is fine by Stockfish. Attacking twice here, But okay, once again I can sacrifice the pawn, not much harm there. If knight to c7, simply rook to b8, and then we can continue on with the game. Once again, Stockfish is playing too many times with his pieces and not really going with the development, and probably that will cost him the game. Okay, queen to c7, but now I can actually capture on e3, intermediate move. I'm not in a hurry to actually go and capture the queen, because that would mean that this knight will attack with the tempo. Okay, bishop to e3, a very nice move. Now twice attacking here on a7. But this is actually a pawn that I would gladly give. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem actually giving up this pawn. But okay, let's play b6. b6 stopping the threats from the queen and the bishop and the knight. Okay, I'm up a pawn. This could be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing, because that would mean also that white is ahead in development. Okay, now what I'm thinking about is quite simply bishop to a6, allowing knight to c7, but yeah, I can survive this without a problem actually. Okay, knight to d6 is also a move, but okay, now the bishop on e2 is falling. The idea was if knight to c7, rook to c8 can be played, and if knight captures on a6, then you lose the queen, and if bishop captures on a6, you lose the knight, so rook can capture on c7. So all would be good here. Now I will just simply exchange the bishops and go into a simplified position, and okay, and Stockfish will give me a piece. Well, that is very nice, and it kind of eases up the tension for the moment here in this situation. Let's bring the bishop back. Now white isn't allowed to castle kingside, but he'll probably go queenside castle, bishop to d4, and now, I mean, the main idea of f4 move was what I wanted to play next. So if knight would have captured on e2, I would play knight to e5, attacking the queen, and then I think the queen cannot go anywhere, cannot defend the knight on d6. So Stockfish was losing a piece either way. But now I have to think about the best way how to go out of this position. So is knight to b8 a move? Actually here, no it isn't, because you lose the rook on a8. What else can be played? Queen, you cannot play rook to c8 or rook to e8 because of this pesky knight. So trying to get rid of that knight, playing knight to e4 seems like the only reasonable option here. I will give up some material, but in the end I have a piece and it will be easier for me to play on. Okay, couple of things. First, what I can do is capture the bishop on d4. Now rook will capture, of course. Okay, either that or this. Okay, but I see what is the problem now. If I capture first here, then the rook will capture and this knight is pinned. So first, let's put in this bishop to e3 check. You can cover with the knight, you can move the king, whatever you do. In the end, I have managed to keep this piece. So pawn captures on e4, you capture on d7, and that is fine. Now queen to c8, going for the exchange of queens, and also at the same time threatening with the bishop to capture on f4. Now it's a much easier game, and as I've foretold, Stockfish did kind of play a couple of nice moves and had a very active play. So always be careful, not just against the engine, but in general. So here black is clearly winning. I have the bishop pair, and not just that, I have a piece, and it wouldn't be, yeah, it isn't too much of a problem to actually go and win this game. Okay, knight to h3 is the only way to develop this knight. And now what to do? A couple of things. Okay, I can just give up this bishop for a pawn and a knight, and then even try to play rook to f1 to exchange the rooks. But okay, white isn't interested for the moment. So let's play first bishop to h6 with an idea now play e3 after rook to e6. Of course, I cannot keep all of my material. And now rook to f1 is a threat, exchanging rooks, and also threatening to go promote the pawn and capture on g2. At the same time, this knight is out of the game as well, not really having that many squares to go to, and yeah, just being a bad piece there. But okay, knight to g1, knight to f3 seems like an idea, but it doesn't do much good for white. Okay, now rook to d8 will be played, and the idea being giving a check here and using it, and using this rook to attack and to defend this pawn while being promoted. But okay, now after knight to g1 there is actually another idea. This check forces the king to a2, and after bishop to c4 I can give up this bishop, but in the end I will earn myself a knight. So b3, rook to g1, pawn captures, and I will capture on g2. This pawn is still defended, a very valuable pass pawn. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I will try and speed up the game in order not to make this video longer than necessary. As you can see, Stockfish sees it as well, so he starts giving up pawns. But okay, let's see. Now, what is the easiest way for me to actually go and promote this? Let's first capture the pawn on h2. I'll probably push now. He doesn't have too many threats. He can capture this pawn, but it wouldn't do him that much good. Okay, I see it now. The problem is if I push now, then king comes to d3. So, not wanting to lose the pawn immediately, let's first play this. If you want to keep the rook on the e-file, you have to play it like this, and this allows my king to actually be more active. And this is a very valuable advice actually from this game. How to proceed with the activity of your king. If you see that your opponent's piece is actually kind of connected to attacking one of your pieces, it is a very good way to actually attack it and deflect it from giving you any threats. So here now the rook has gone to the a-file, and pretty much it is unstoppable to, yeah, this pawn will be unstoppable. Rook to a7, king to f6. After this check, the king can go to f5 and g4, and then promote. After rook to a6, it would be a mistake probably to play immediately king to g5, because you allow king to d2. But here now the queen is coming with a check, and I think there will be a checkmate in a couple of moves. First, let's play queen to b4. Force the king on this side. It would be nice if I could use my bishop as well. Rook to d2. King to c6 is a move. So what next? Let's play c4. So the threat is now to give checkmate on d6. But now the rook is moved, and it is a checkmate in 3. This is the first move. Queen to b6 and rook to d8. A standard pattern between the rook and the queen. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope that you got something out of it. I hope I'm not playing too fast or anything else. If you do have, I'm kind of new to these types of videos. If you do have some suggestion, please do share it in the comments down below. If I can improve somehow, I would definitely like to know that. That being said, I would like to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.